those questions?
Yes.
What inspired you to get into acting?
What inspired me to get into acting? My father, who spent 35 years as a butcher in New York, before he went into working with retail, he wanted to be an actor, but he was one of 8 children in New York, and he had to help support the family. But he did some acting in New York, just a little. So there's that. Then there's my sister, who's 3 years older than me, who was a dancer, and my mother would take me to her dance lessons in Manhattan. We lived in Queens, Elmhurst, home of Louis Armstrong. Anyway, and so my mother would drag me to her dance lessons, my sister's dance lessons. And I guess, you know, there was that, and then there was boys camp in Connecticut where I first went on stage and did a skit with playing an American Indian.
What are some of the challenges?
Wait, I had a loincloth. I had a band and a feather. It was very exciting. And my mother was, my mother, by the way, worked with, where's Ivy?
I'm here.
With Ivy's grandmother. Was it UJA? What was it?
JWB.
JWB, sorry. Jewish Welfare Board in Manhattan. And my mother had a great natural singing voice, so she was always singing around the house. And my father was singing around the house. So I guess that's where it started. That's the short answer.
What are some of the challenges of becoming an actor?
Oh, the challenges of becoming an actor are there's so many people who want to be actors, and there's not that many parts available. So you got to audition, and it's a competition like anything else. So I mean, that's the number one thing is to support yourself while you're trying to get jobs in the industry. Because, like, I'll do a play, and it'll run for 6 weeks, and then what's next? You know, you never know what's coming next. And that's been that way for me for 45 years. For example, I don't know what I'm going to do after I leave this play. I'm kidding. I'm actually going to Montreal, but go ahead.
What was it like to play Larry Dallas?
Well, playing like Brendan, what's your
Brendan.
Brendan.
You got it right the first time.
Brendan, you killed it.
Thank you.
Wish I had seen you before I did Larry. I could get a few pointers. Anyway, working on Three's Company was great because John Ritter, may he rest in peace, was a extraordinary comedian and physical comedian and just a great guy. So it was a joy to go to work every day and be it. And the girls, Jen, where's my Jen? Y'all did great. All of a sudden I'm from the South. You all did great. Really, great job. I wish Don Knott could have seen you. So it was a joy coming to work because, you know, the show in itself was a fun, farce, cartoonish show. So, you know, having the opportunity to do that material. And by the way, where's Terry? That's a great script you chose because that had more laughs than I thought. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to choose something that had the part of Larry.
Yeah.
You know, that showcased the whole comedy behind who Larry was.
And you couldn't do the streaking show, so that was that was we didn't want Brandon to get.
Yeah, I wasn't going to
He's not going to go that far.
No.
He's not going to take off his clothes just for comedy.
Yeah, I will never do that. No.
Why not?
A, it's legal. B, I don't want to. C, my dad would arrest me.
What else?
What was the hardest role you've ever played?
Ooh, the hardest role I ever played. That's a good one. Well, on Broadway, I was a standby for Nathan Lane. So some of you may know.
Oh yeah, amazing actor.
And it was a David Mamet play, and it was 133 pages of dialogue. Play the President of the United States. And thank God, the people who stand by do have rehearsals every Friday. So we were rehearsing for 5 months before I went. I actually went on for Nathan on a Sunday afternoon. And it was just a lot of, it was a comedy and a lot of words. So and David Mamet is kind of a difficult playwright because he stops and starts his dialogue. So I think that was pretty tough.
What was the most fun role?
The most fun role? Well, I mean, I just finished, May 1st, I finished doing a musical called Spamalot, which is based on the Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail. And that was up in Connecticut at a wonderful theater called the Connecticut Repertory Theater. And I played King Arthur, and just about every other line was a laugh. And I also got to sing too. No, that's right up there with, and of course Larry, but I mean that was only 8 years. That was only 200 episodes. Yikes! What?
Who did you not like on the cast?
Who did I not like on the cast? I liked everybody. I truly did. I mean, you know, when actors are struggling to get work, and then they finally get work, and then they're on a hit show, you know, what's there to be creepy about it? You know, no, everybody's there. Everybody's being paid well and doing material and signing autographs and being in the spotlight. And, you know, it's great. So there was nobody in the cast.
Did you ever date Chrissy?
No, Chrissy had a boyfriend who she later married, Alan Hamill. And Joyce had a boyfriend, Ray, who was on Rhoda. Anybody remember Rhoda?
Yes.
There you go. So who else was left to date? There's no, oh wait, hold on. I was married at the time.
How do you cope with being a celebrity?
It's very hard. Very difficult being a celebrity, being in the public eye. No, here's what happens. When you get on a show that is not only seen all over the United States and Canada, but it's like all over the world. Because they're called residuals, that's like the money you get. They're called foreign residuals, and they'll be like 12 cents from Poland. I mean, really, I mean, you know, in Israel, the show is called 3-in-1 Apartment. I don't know the Hebrew for that, but it's something like shlash lachacha plocha, whatever. And it's called, so people know you. I mean, I get people, like when I first went back to New York, I was living in LA, and I was doing some publicity in New York, and I went into a cab, and I thought an African American driver, but he was from Zimbabwe. And I got in the cab and he went, Larry! And he says, I learned English from you. So it's like, it's astounding. To this day, it astounds me that people, they don't recognize me anymore because I have white hair and I'm wearing, you know, things. But, what was the question? Oh, how do you cope with being a celebrity? You accommodate the public as best you can because the public feels that not that they own you, but that they know you so well that you're a member of the family because, you know, they watch you every night or on reruns, so, you know, you can't be a shaky shape-up. You can't be, you know, have your nose up in the air. You have to accommodate.
What was it like working with John Ritter?
Well, I thought I touched that, but John, no, but that's okay. John, you know, really good actors who do not have a lot of ego will tell you that they learn from other actors. Like when I got out of the Army in 1971, I got a job at Lincoln Center, repertory company in New York. And there were some incredibly great actors. One of them was Nancy Marchand, the late Nancy Marchand, who was Tony Soprano's mother on The Sopranos. Terrific actress. And and others like her. And you observe them and you learn from them. Well, working with John, that's like going to school, you know, because he was so accomplished, and so we worked off each other really well. I learned a lot from him. Plus, he was an extraordinarily funny, off-camera funny, and had a great heart. Was great. You know, you say, how do you cope as a celebrity? I would watch John handle the public. Like someone would come to John, you know, Jack Tripper, whatever. And, you know, sign an autograph, take a picture, whatever. And so you learn from, you know, being around a great guy like that. He was fabulous. And we both had a great admiration for Jerry Lewis. You know who Jerry Lewis is, anybody?
Yeah, Chris Fire.
Thank you, Yankee fan. Go Mets.
Yeah.
Oh. But you know, he would open the door like a rehearsal. You know, bing bong, bing bong. Open the door and I'd be standing there and he'd go, Larry, come in. Comedy is happening here. We would do Jerry Lewis and the director on the God night would go, guys, are we going to work today or what? Because it was just. It was madness. Madness, Brendan! I like your shirt.
Reagan.
And if I'm lying, may I fall asleep? Go ahead.
How was life like after Three's Company?
How was life like after? Well, right after Three's Company, immediately when Three's Company ended, which was 1984, February something, I went into another series called His and Hers with Shelley Fabre from Coach, which didn't sell. So I continued to work after Three's Company. I did a series in 2001, was it, with Brent, with
Brecken?
what? Breckenmeyer, yeah. You guys ever see a movie called Road Trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, Breckenmeyer. And anyway, so I continued to work, but I moved back to the East Coast because I was doing a lot of theater, which is my first love. And so there you go. 9 months on Broadway with City of Angels, which was a hoot, and then a year and a half, was it that? Year and a half with Wicked! Playing the wizard. It's the only part I could play because the rest of the people are young. Well, we're young people. Elphaba's young. Linda, the good witch, she's young. And a host of dancers. Go ahead.
And lastly, what's your advice to aspiring young actors?
My advice to aspiring young actors is as follows. Never leave your wallet in the dressing room. Wait, time out. No, but my real answer is, get a day job. Got it?
Got it. Yeah.
Because you're not going to work all the time. There's a lot of competition out there. And the other advice is take, even if you go to college or whatever and study drama, keep studying after. It's like, if you went to tennis school and you were a terrific tennis player, right? You went to a tennis academy in Florida, where else, right? And you were really good and you went on the circuit and you were playing as a pro or semi-pro. You got, every day, you got to work on your backhand and your serve and your forehand, right?
Yeah.
So that's the analogy that I give to actors. Even if you've studied in college, and even if you've done, I mean, after I did Three's Company, I studied with a guy named Gordon Hunt. What's Hunt?
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt's father. Helen Hunt won the Academy Award. Her father taught acting, so I took a class with him.
Did you compete for Larry?
I'll tell you who was in the room when I auditioned. Larry was supposed to be a one-show guest spot. Period. End of story. It wasn't to be a series regular. It only became a series regular when they said, "That guy's funny." No, but my competition in the audition was Jeff Goldblum, you know who he is?
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious.
Jeff Goldblum, who was The Fly,
Yeah.
and who's now in every Independence Day movie.
Yes, it is.
And does What's in Your Wallet commercials, right?
Yes.
Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Big tall guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff and I did a comedy before we both became well known in New York City called El Grande de Coca-Cola. Jeff is an accomplished concert pianist.
Wow.
So he played the piano in that show. I played the drums, but I actually played the drums. And we were a part of a troupe that was doing a nightclub act. It was called El Grande de Coca-Cola. That's where I first met Jeff, 1972. I was 12. No. What? Who called? What? Somebody said, oh,
Just a moment.
This is going to be my new agent. What else?
She has a question. We
Yeah.
were wondering if you were active in your drama club in high school.
No. Zip. I wrote for the school paper. I was the sports editor of my high school paper, Bryant High School, Long Island City. Anybody? Okay. No. Junior high school, yes. There wasn't a club, but my first play ever was at junior high school. It was a radio play called The Odyssey of Runyon Jones. Sir,
I don't know if I missed it. Where did you go to college?
I went to Queens College in Flushing, and then I got my master's at Northwestern in Chicago.
I'm an Iona man.
Iona, you're a Gale. Didn't Jimmy Valvano
Yeah.
coach at Iona?
He got sick young, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to another college, but they didn't want him to leave, and everything changed.
South Carolina.
Which school?
Yeah, North Carolina State. Yeah, but
NC State.
Jimmy Valvano and my cousin Bobby Brill were basketball players together at Rutgers.
Yeah.
At Rutgers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Jimmy went on to coach Iona and then NC State.
I live next door to Iona.
Oh, yeah?
They wouldn't let me play there.
Okay.
They were very discriminatory.
Yeah, it's not an easy word to say either. What?
How much you got paid when the short started, and how much you got paid when they got famous?
That's a great question. You know how great that question is? Because not only is it a little personal, but it's like people want to know what you get paid. I got paid hundreds and thousands of dollars less than anyone on Seinfeld. Because if Three's Company had aired in the 90s, I would own this place.
Buy it now.
At a loss, probably. It was, okay, so when you first start out, it's not a lot, but then when it becomes famous, it's more.
Yeah, and Seinfeld was making $1 million per episode.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And the people on Friends. But we ran from 1977 to 1984. They ran for all in the 90s.
And I watched
But
them.
you know what? Money can't buy you everything.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love it.
And it certainly can't buy you love, which is sitting over there. And I am married to. For 14, thank you. Can't buy me love, right?